everybody, and welcome to another episode of Reel It In. I'm David Jones, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, my good buddy, David Gonzalez.
Thank you.
He's making a very rare appearance, and so, yeah, this is going to be a good episode. So today we're talking about Rogue One, and we're talking about the Titanfall 2 tech beta, which is coming up this weekend, and I'm stoked about it. But first, let's talk about Rogue One. So the latest trailer dropped. What did you think of it?
It was pretty good. I wouldn't say I'm like a hardcore Star Wars fan, but I am definitely a fan of all the work that's been put into the previous ones. I know a lot of the second trilogy got a lot of flack for certain characters.
Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, that
universally hated.
That was probably the biggest one. I didn't mind him being there, but I definitely was not a big fan of him.
Did you hear of all the lately? There's the rumors that he's secretly a Sith Lord.
I did not.
Like drunken master Sith Lord.
No, that's a little ridiculous. I don't think Disney's going to take that risk. So
True.
But as far as the last installment to catch up to Rogue One, on my take on it, I was really not impressed on using a cookie cutter style way of telling a story.
Well, that was deliberate. It wasn't cookie cutter. It was to really capture the essence of Episode 4, so it is both new and familiar to the audience.
But if you want to capture a new audience, you just need to continue the story. I like the small story where individual characters, that was fine. I was okay. But the big events that took place, I really felt like they could have gone a different route. But moving on to Rogue One, I think it should be interesting because this is another side story that we've been missing, right? We've had a couple of way back in the, I forgot what that one with the
There was a ton
Ewoks.
of expanded universe.
Remember that
you're talking
the
about
Ewok
Battle
one?
for Endor. Battle for Endor?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. There's
That
actually
one-
another one before that. The title slips my mind, but I love Battle for Endor.
Yeah, so I'm actually curious to see where they're going to go with this. I would love for it to be moving away from some of the main storyline. I would love to see like its own, a life of its own. And
that's what we're getting here. That's what we're getting with Rogue One, which is awesome. I'm actually hoping that we see very few Jedi, very few, like at the end of the story trailer that just launched, we saw a little glimpse of Darth Vader,
yes,
which
Darth
is
Vader's
awesome. But for the most part, this is so cool because it's sort of the underdogs. This is they're getting the rebellion going. This is the origin. This is, I think, it's pretty clear that this is how they figure out how, like, they get the plans for the Death Star, and they ultimately will roll that into Episode 4's narrative, where that's how they can destroy the Death Star.
Right. I like you made a good point. We did see in the second trilogy the formation of the Imperial, right?
Yeah.
Now we get to see the formation of the Rebels.
Yes.
Of when finally Emperor Palpatine finally just took over.
Mm-hmm.
So and now we get to see the results of that and kind of close the gap a little bit from 3 to 4 because we all know what happens at the end of Episode 3 with Anakin, and he's definitely going to
underestimate my power.
He's definitely going to make his appearance here on Rogue One. At least that's what it implies. Hopefully Disney doesn't do what they did with Luke Skywalker, because that would be a huge disappointment.
How so? In which way?
In Episode 7, where he just basically showed his face with no lines. That was not impressive to me. That was another thing.
That was the easiest money Mark Hamill's ever made.
Yes. I, as a fan, don't do that, okay? That is just not how you do that.
I think, this is Vader at his prime. I think this is going to be prime Vader badassery time.
Right.
But I love that it's an underdog story. I love it. It's going to be so cool, and I love that they have a female protagonist. And I'm really interested to see what story they're going to tell here.
Yeah, it's definitely caught my interest. I have high hopes for it by comparison to what I've seen in Episode 7. I already explained my feelings there. But this should be good. I really feel like this should be a great step forward for the brand.
And also because since Disney acquired all of the Star Wars franchise, they killed all of the expanded universe stories. This is one that they're telling for the first time, sort of.
Rogue One comes, provided there's no delays, comes out this December.
Yep.
And we'll look forward to actually seeing that in theaters. And chances are we're probably going to do a pretty good review on it, whether for better or for worse. So.
Yeah, for sure. So please tell us in the comments below what you are excited for about Rogue One. Titanfall 2 Tech Beta is starting this weekend. It will be available on the Xbox One as well as the PS4. And before we get into that itself, I want to talk about Titanfall, the first game. So how much did you play Titanfall?
We all knew what happened with Infinity War, that there was that internal problem. One of the main creators of Call of Duty Modern Warfare ended up leaving the company or unceremoniously. So his way of getting back was to start his own company, and their first game was Titanfall.
You're talking, of course, about Respawn Entertainment.
Yes.
Who made Titanfall and made Titanfall 2.
Yes.
Okay.
So when I actually got a chance to play it, I was a little intrigued. It's a much different approach to a first-person shooter. It's a different element of, if you're this one character, sure, you'll fight man-to-man, but then all of a sudden you're fighting man-to-machine, and we're talking like towering machine.
Big, awesome robot battles.
Or the reverse, you're a machine shooting at these ants, essentially. So
yeah, and it's always very satisfying when you're in your giant Titan and you're shooting at the pilots, and they just sort of explode into little bloody specks.
So when I first actually got to play the game, of course I discovered, I think way before the game actually came out, that there was not going to be a campaign. They were going to go for more towards the multiplayer audience, which, from a Call of Duty standpoint, that kind of made sense.
It did, yeah. But ultimately, it left us wanting a lot more.
Yes.
Yeah. So the multiplayer in Titanfall was incredible, and I think I'm still a Gen 10, or either that I'm very late Gen 9. You can resurrect yourself as higher gens. It's like prestiging. So I played a lot of Titanfall.
I on the other hand, I don't agree on that end on my behalf, like as far as my personal opinion of the game. So when I actually got my hands on it, played the game, as just a Titan running around, and kind of figured out the controls are fairly easy to, if I remember correctly, fairly easy to adapt. It's just like a typical first-person shooter, except the element of when you finally call down your
Titan,
your awesome Titan. I mean, don't get me wrong, all the animations, all that action is amazing,
and you feel powerful in your Titan.
I did. However, as soon as my first match and only match, I instantly became bored and felt like that's all I did. Like that, I did everything you could possibly do in the game.
I would strongly disagree
bored
with you. No. There's so much to unlock. There's all sorts of different maneuverability options as both a pilot and once you're in your Titan, and different things that you can do as each. And it's just so satisfying when you're like, for example, Titan on Titan battles, right? When you really are about to thrash a Titan and they're just going down in flames, you can literally rip your opponent out of their Titan and crush them in your hand. And that is so satisfying. So I think one match was too few for you to really have a good grasp of what this game offers. But I will agree with you that the story needed some work because they created...
There was none.
There was none. Essentially, your campaign was a multiplayer match with some added dialogue, which was very disappointing. But in Titanfall 2, they've addressed that. We are getting... James and I, we talked a little bit about this a couple weeks ago. We are getting a true single-player campaign, which looks incredible, and it's about... a relationship between a pilot who inherits a Titan, and that Titan then protects the pilot. And I don't know too much more beyond that, but I can already tell at the end of this story, it's going to be pretty moving. I can already see your Titan is like going down in flames, and it's like doing everything to protect you. And at the very end, it's like a big sacrifice is made, and you're gonna make it out alive, but your Titan is not. Spoiler warning, I am predicting this.
I just sincerely hope that they try at least attempt to do something completely different from what we've seen, because at this day and age, it's really hard to come up with a unique story as far as what the protagonist has to go through, what he already went through, how he got to this stage of why he might be disgruntled or heroic or whatever the case is. So I hope to see something exciting. Now, based off of the beta footage itself on Titanfall 2, it actually looks pretty good. It looks it looks like it could be promising. It definitely looks more appealing than the first game because
they've made a lot of good improvements. And I mean, Respawn, I've said this several times, but Respawn has made an amazing world, and I want to explore it. And so I'm really looking forward to the campaign. And of course, they have all sorts of new additions, different Titans, different abilities, and then that freaking sword that's like, probably like 6 stories long that you can wield now. I mean, it's gonna be crazy. And there's all sorts of like super moves that you can do as a Titan. There's like a big old gorilla ground pound that you can do to just explode everything in your way. I'm looking forward to it.
I hope. For their sake, it's a pretty good game because with their competitors, Blizzard, Infinity Ward, Bungie, Treyarch. I mean, there's
343.
Yeah, 343.
But honestly, I feel as though Respawn listens a lot more to the feedback of the fans, and I think that the proof of that is Titanfall 2. I can already see that a lot of the things that people were requesting are going to be in Titanfall 2. So we'll have a lot more to say after the tech beta test this weekend.
We'll definitely give it a shot. Definitely give it a shot, see what it's all about, see if it's any different. So, all right, so then finally we have, Halo 5 had this weird, mysterious glitch show up.
Oh my god, it's amazing. Halo 5, there was this amazing glitch discovered fairly recently. I mean, it came to me the other day when James tagged me in a video on Facebook. So I showed it to you.
Yes.
Okay, so basically what it is in Halo 5, if you go in Forge, you can spawn a weapon pad, and then what you do is you basically make a weapon believe that it is another weapon. And what you can do with that is pretty sick. So I haven't been excited about anything in Halo for, since super jumps existed. I mean, this is big to me. One of the coolest things that you can do is you can equip a Spartan laser that believes it is either a rocket launcher, an Ad Victorium, which fires 3 rockets at a time, or you can do a fuel rod cannon, and you just spam thousands of rockets or thousands of fuel rod cannon shots just everywhere, and just you can make a turret believe that it is a plasma caster, an upgraded plasma caster, and just the multiplayer options in custom games feel a lot more varied now. So I'm really excited, and I hope 343 doesn't update it and remove it, because this is the coolest thing to come out of Halo since Halo 2 Super Jump.
Right, so this was an unintentional feature that ended up making its way in the game, and
for sure,
like you said, it's actually pretty cool, because it definitely reminded me of the days in Halo 2, not just the super jump, but I just love that Scarab gun. That was just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Where you have a plasma rifle, and it's like a Super Saiyan beam if you were up in that Banshee, when the same Banshee you had to use to get it, and you were helping your buddy out. You're up in that Banshee, just Super Saiyan beam, blast a Wraith into oblivion.
Ooh.
So it's pretty, definitely reminded me of that. But it's obviously a lot different. You just see a fireworks show, essentially,
yes,
of rockets flying out. You're like the grand finale of your 4th of July fireworks show.
James and I, we were up till like 3. The night that he told me about it, we were up and we were playing Forge Online, and I honestly, I didn't expect it to work. But I have never seen James so stoked about this. So he was just screaming into the mic. He was just unleashing thousands of rockets everywhere. He was just ah! It was so much fun. Like I said, dude, I mean, if you can make those weapons and then make them go into your custom matches, and you play with your friends online, it's just going to be insanity.
It's actually just going to be a matter of time. I mean, with that kind of creativity, that's also going to dictate how fast and how a map is structured based off of the weapon types. Like, for instance, when you showed me the shotgun that became a railgun or a sniper rifle, right? So that's going to also change. What kind of obstacles are you going to have? What kind of vehicles, or what have you?
You're going to need a lot of overshield.
So this is going to be an interesting, way. Maybe even the favorite game type, zombies. Mm-hmm. Maybe that will change based off of this loadout that you now have.
Whoever figured it out, thank you for sharing. It's amazing. I love that this exists, and I really, really, really hope that 343 does not patch it out. It's the coolest thing in Halo 5, honestly.
Yeah, it's one of the coolest accidents I've ever seen.
Oh, for sure, dude.
So hopefully it's a bug that never gets fixed and is never even classified as a bug.
I would love if they sneakily improved it. If they allowed us to, take some of the mythic weapons and they put those in Forge, and you could, turn those into those crazy weapon combos.
What I would like to see more, StarCraft, for example, is a perfect game that actually the Blizzard allows users to go into the code itself and modify the game in such a way that you can make a character that, which, like, for instance, if you're familiar with it, the human guys, which are called the Terrans, have a machine gun that shoots plasma that come from the Protoss, which are the aliens. So if you can do a little bit of how the rate of fire, the type of color it is, all those small little details, if you can let the modding community go ahead and have at it, you're going to have a much bigger custom fan base than you ever will see since the beginning.
Definitely. And I mean, we have a lot of really cool multiplayer map types where you can do like a Jenga game. There's a Pokemon battle game. There's the zombie toilet bowl one where the zombies spawn up through the water. There's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do in Halo 5's multiplayer already that I would love to see the custom weapon combos implemented into.
I mean, I would even say, hey, that new, what was it, the Wasp? Go ahead, change the missiles into Spartan lasers. That would be pretty sick.
Oh my god!
If you have the Scorpion tank shoot a crazy array of different stuff, that
incineration cannon shots all day.
Yes, let's make it, or even have the Scorpion weapon in the pistol itself, just as a crazy experiment.
Oh, be able to fire tank shots from the Magnum.
Yes.
Oh,
let's
so
unshackle
cool.
a lot of stuff that's shackled and really allow real freedom in the customization.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt the multiplayer, the competitive aspect of the game in any way, because it's not like you can take these weapons and bring them into matchmaking. So I'm really hoping that they don't screw with this.
Yes, this is essentially, I mean, I'm not saying be Minecraft, but like allow the freedom like you can be in Minecraft. That would make someone's day that is a hardcore Halo 5 or Halo fan in itself.
In general, yeah.
You're going to keep your player count a lot longer the more you unshackle stuff. So, 343, you better start doing that. Just as a suggestion.
Please don't take it away from us. This is the coolest thing you did, even if it was by accident.
So, I think that pretty much covers what we're going to talk about today. Glad to be on the show. I know I'm just basically the guy that's in the credits. Shout out to those... shout out to those that are watching us live. Support our channels.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Daniel.
So go ahead and like our Facebook page if you haven't already. Go ahead and like our YouTube channel. Subscribe. Our Instagram, our Snapchat, and soon we'll have our streaming services up and running in the near future. And until then, we'll see you on the next Reel It In episode.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time.